Hi everyone, so I've basically just drawn a little bit of a map of a roundabout because something just happened on a roundabout which happens on a regular basis, and I just want to draw attention to it. And I know this is like the worst, dodgiest possible map ever, so I'll explain it quickly before I tell you what happened. So this is like the entry point going towards the motorway and all the roundabouts. So it splits into two. There's a road coming in from the right, and there's a road there coming in from the left. I don't know if you can go that way from over here. I think you actually can. And then there's a road that leads off to there to a shop. I think it's the range. And then up there's the bus lane, but if you go up this one you can go into that one to go here, which I think actually does split into three, but just for the purpose of this it's two. And then this one goes straight up and you can go towards one town, or if you go into this lane you can stay in this lane and go across here to a motorway that's there. But also you can access the motorway from this one and this one too, then this one here and this one, and there's another one that joins there that we'll just draw on there. So basically there's three lanes. This one goes round and that one goes round, and both these two lanes here can go off on the next motorway, and that one goes basically back round to where down here where I've come off here, or where the start off is here. Here is basically the roundabout, a road, well, three lanes joining here, which can go across up to there, or they can go around the roundabout basically. So what happened is this is me, M for me, that's for the red car. That's just took the mick out of me. So I'm trying to do this and it's going to be very difficult. So basically I'm driving along, this car sets off at the same time, and this happens all the time. People who get in this lane cut into this lane for some reason, I don't know why. 9 times out of 10 they actually still need to be in that lane, because when they get to the top they're going to do what this guy did to me. So basically I'm driving along and I get to about here, and then this guy comes along and gets there and tries to come into my lane there, and if he'd done he would have hit my car. So straight away he starts beeping at me, and I'm thinking, why are you beeping at me? I'm actually in the lane, you're trying to cross the lane without even indicating, and there's a car there which is me. So I carry on driving, this guy's beeping and he drops in behind me, and as we're getting to that road he's about there and I'm there, and he tries to cut in there, but as I'm going there he can't do that. So again he kind of drops in behind me and goes back into this lane here, which he should be in. So he's in this lane and I'm driving up, and he's driving next to me beeping at me, and I never look because I just think a lot of the times if you look it just winds them up even more. And you might have heard about this thing called road rage and people getting killed for no reason, so I never look. So we're driving along and driving up, and he's driving at my speed, even though I had about 3 or 4 vehicles in front of me. He didn't have any vehicles in front of him, so he could have basically come up to the lights. The lights are about here, I guess. So we're driving along, and then I get stopped about here because there's traffic in front of me, and they stop there even though the nearest car to them is up there at the traffic lights. So they're still beeping at me and trying to get my attention. I just will not look at them. And to basically tell you what happened was, they were actually meant to be in this lane because they went up there. So, and me being me, was actually meant to be in this lane because I went round the corner along there and joined the motorway over there. So basically he needed to be in that lane the whole time. He needed to drive, I'm presuming it's a man, it could have been a woman, but from the aggression I'd say it was a man. He should have been all the way up there, then crossed into this lane here and gone up there. But instead he decided he was going to try and hit my car. When he didn't, drop in behind me, tried to go around me, but he couldn't because you can't do that because there's not an actual lane here. This is the whole lane. I know I've done a line up the middle of it. It's not actually 2 lanes, it's 1, so I don't know why I drew lines up it. So he went there, and if you're going there, you're supposed to be going that way. Clearly, he wasn't going to go that way. So they then went across there whilst beeping at me and driving at my speed, even though I had traffic in front of me, so I was driving at like 10-15 mile an hour. So they were driving all along, trying to actually come back into my lane for some weird reason, because I don't understand why they would want to be in this lane when they're actually going off up there. So they were beeping constantly, and I could see something out the corner of my eye, but I thought, I'm not looking, I'm not giving them that. I've actually done nothing wrong, because I've actually been in the correct lane the whole time. They're going like that, in and out of lanes, when really they need to be in this lane to go up there, to go up there. I have this a lot of the time on there. You have to be very careful if you're setting off at the same time as another car here. I say 9 times out of 10 this car is going to come into this lane, and 9 times out of 10, or probably 8 times out of 10, the car that's crossing into this lane, even though it's clearly marked, the road markings are there, this lane goes round there and that goes round there. I am not cutting into their lane, they're actually cutting into my lane. The road markings are very clear. For anyone who knows this area really well will know. So the amount of times that if you set off, you have to be careful, because a lot of the time they're crossing over without actually looking, and I should have danger money for driving around here. I should have £1 for every time I've avoided someone hitting me, because it's on a daily basis, but no one's giving me the amount of abuse I've got today. So 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, they're actually coming up here to either turn down there onto the dual carriageway or go up there, or even go up here to go on the first turn off, which you don't need to be in this lane for. Yes, you could be in this lane if you want to go up there and go in the fast lane, but the amount of times that people just set off and cross the line into that lane is unbelievable, and it needs trafficking somehow. They need to do something where they can't just do that, and I don't know how, but basically I'm getting a bit sick of people doing that, but no one's giving me that amount of abuse. So I just thought I would draw a lovely, lovely picture, obviously not to scale, just to explain my frustration with people around there, because there was no need for the red car to do that.